नमस्कार, बहुत स्वागत है आपका हमारे खास कार्यक्रम इंडिया लीगल में। मैं हूँ राजश्री आपके साथ और आज हम एक ऐसे मसले के साथ आपके सामने हाजिर हैं जो सीधे तौर पर आपसे और हमसे जुड़ा हुआ है। जी हाँ, शायद ही कोई ऐसा होगा जो कि इस देश में उपभोक्ता नहीं होगा और आज हम उपभोक्ताओं के ही हितों के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 2019 लागू होने के बाद उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा अब कैसे होगी, इस पर खास चर्चा आज हमारे इस खास कार्यक्रम में। और इसमें हमने एक ऐसे पैनल को आपके सामने हम लेकर आ रहे हैं, ऐसे पैनल को हमने जोड़ा है जो सीधे तौर पर इस पूरे मसले को बहुत गहराई से समझता है। और जबकि ये जो संरक्षण कानून है वो लागू हुआ है, इसमें ये हम साफ तौर पर आपको बताएंगे, एक तरह से डिकोड करेंगे हम इस पूरे कानून को और हम आपको दिखाएंगे कि अब क्या हो सकता है, अब तक क्या था और अब तस्वीर कितनी बदलेगी, ये आज हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। बढ़ते बाजारवाद के कारण आज के दौर में हर कोई उपभोक्ता है और जब भी हम बाजार से कोई सेवा या चीज खरीदते हैं तो हम उपभोक्ता बन ही जाते हैं। तो एक उपभोक्ता होने के नाते हमारे जो अधिकार हैं वो तो हमें पता होनी ही चाहिए, लेकिन बहुत से लोगों को एक उपभोक्ता होने के नाते उनके जो अपने अधिकार हैं वो पता ही नहीं है। तो आज हम आपको दिखाएंगे कि आपके अधिकार क्या हैं। अब जो नया कानून आया है उसके बाद आपके अधिकारों का संरक्षण और ज्यादा कितना हो सकता है। कुल मिलाकर आप देखें तो आज जो भी ग्राहक है वो जमाखोरी, कालाबाजारी, मिलावट, अधिक दाम, कम नाप तौल इत्यादि संकटों से घिरा हुआ है। और अब तो यहाँ तक कि जो हमारे फेवरेट जो आइकन्स हैं वो यदि किसी चीज़ का प्रचार कर देते हैं तो हम उसी को सच मानने लगते हैं, हालांकि बाद में हमें कुछ और पता चलता है और उस प्रोडक्ट को लेके हमारा जो भ्रम है वो टूटता है। इसके अलावा जिस तरह से अब ऑनलाइन सिस्टम हुआ है और जिस तरह से ऑनलाइन उपभोक्ताओं की संख्या बढ़ी है और जब आप किसी चीज़ को ऑनलाइन बुकिंग करते हैं और आपको ये पता चलता है कि नहीं चलता है कि कहाँ का बना हुआ है और जो प्रोडक्ट आपने बुक किया है क्या वही प्रोडक्ट आप तक पहुँचा या नहीं, इन सब चीज़ों को लेकर किस तरह से अब भविष्य बनेगा, किस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, इस कानून में क्या कुछ कहा गया है, आज हम ये समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। उधर कुल मिलाकर शायद ये कहा जा सकता है कि उपभोक्ताओं की जो भी समस्या है वो शायद इस वजह से है कि उपभोक्ता कोई संगठित संस्था नहीं है और न ही उपभोक्ता संगठित है, इसलिए वो हर जगह ठग लिया जाता है। इसलिए उपभोक्ता को बिल्कुल जागना होगा और खुद को इन संकटों से बचाना भी होगा और अपने हितों की रक्षा के लिए आवाज भी उठानी होगी। तो और इसी के लिए आज हम ये कार्यक्रम लेकर आए हैं ताकि आप एक उपभोक्ता के तौर पर जान सकें कि आपका अधिकार क्या है और आप किस तरह से उन तमाम जो धोखेबाजी आपके साथ यदि हो रही है तो उसके खिलाफ आवाज उठा सकें। खराब गुणवत्ता की चीजें और सेवा देने वालों से अपने अधिकारों की हक की लड़ाई ही जागरूक उपभोक्ता की पहचान है। सरकार की तरफ से तमाम कोशिशें की गई हैं तमाम पिछले सालों में कि ताकि उपभोक्ताओं को जगाया जाए। जागो ग्राहक जागो ये नारा ही हो गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद भी आज भी ग्राहकों का हित कितना सुरक्षित रहा है और अब कितना सुरक्षित रहेगा ये समझने की जरूरत है। देश में 24 दिसंबर को राष्ट्रीय उपभोक्ता दिवस भी मनाया जाता है और इसका उद्देश्य ही उपभोक्ताओं को उनके हितों के संरक्षण के प्रति जागरूक करना है, लेकिन कितना हो पाया है ये एक सवाल है। दरअसल 1986 में 24 दिसंबर को राष्ट्रीय उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून लागू किया गया था। इसका स्पष्ट उद्देश्य ये था कि उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा हो और उन्हें शोषण से बचाया जाए। 1991 और 1993 में उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम में बदलाव किए गए और इसके बाद दिसंबर 2002 में व्यापक संशोधन किया गया और वर्ष 2003 में 15 मार्च से इसे लागू किया गया। इसके बाद राष्ट्रीय उपभोक्ता दिवस मनाने की शुरुआत वर्ष 2000 से हुई और अब उपभोक्ताओं के अधिकारों का दायरा जिस तरह से बढ़ा है, उपभोक्ता अधिकारों को नई ऊंचाई देने वाले उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 2019 के प्रावधान 20 जुलाई से प्रभावी हो गए। अब इस नए कानून ने उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 1986 का स्थान जो लिया है उससे क्या परिवर्तन होगा ये समझने की जरूरत है। और मैं आपको ये बताऊं कि सबसे बड़ा बदलाव अब ये है कि अब गुमराह करने वाले विज्ञापन दिखाने वालों की भी खैर नहीं, अगर गलत पाए गए तो उन्हें भी जेल की सजा हो सकती है, उन्हें जेल की हवा खानी पड़ सकती है। इतना ही नहीं, नए नियमों के तहत एक बड़ी राहत ये भी है कि ग्राहक अब वहां से शिकायत दाखिल कर सकेगा जहां वो रहता है, न कि उसे वहां जाना जरूरी होगा जहां से उसने कोई सामान खरीदा है। कानून के तहत उपभोक्ता मध्यस्थता सेल का गठन किया जाएगा। दोनों पक्ष आपसी सहमति से मध्यस्थता का विकल्प चुन सकेंगे। कंज्यूमर फोरम में 1 करोड़ रुपए तक के केस और राज्य उपभोक्ता विवाद निवारण आयोग में 1 करोड़ से 10 करोड़ तक के केस का निपटारा किया जाएगा। अब चूंकि आज ई कॉमर्स का जमाना है, ऐसे में ई कॉमर्स कंपनियों के खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई संभव हो सकती है। तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि ग्राहकों को अब कितना ज्यादा अधिकार मिला है। उधर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग या की कोई खामी हो या खराब सेवाओं की कोई अगर बात हो तो उपभोक्ता जिस तरह से नुकसान झेलता है, अब वो कंपनी को हर्जाना देने को बाध्य कर सकता है। उपभोक्ताओं की शिकायतें निपटाने के लिए जिला, राज्य और राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर उपभोक्ता अदालतें अभी भी हैं। नए कानून में इनके क्षेत्राधिकार को बढ़ा दिया गया है। इसके साथ ही अगर कोई सेलिब्रिटी किसी सामान या सेवा के बारे में भ्रामक प्रचार करेगा तो उसके खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई हो सकेगी। जाहिर है कि उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा के लिए तमाम पहल कर ली गई है। अब उपभोक्ताओं पर निर्भर करेगा कि वो आगे बढ़कर नाइंसाफी के खिलाफ आवाज कैसे उठाएं। तो आज हम उपभोक्ता के हितों की बात करने वाले हैं और इससे जुड़े कानूनों को भी समझने की कोशिश करने वाले हैं। लेकिन सबसे पहले मैं आपको एक रिपोर्ट दिखाती हूं ताकि आप एक टाइमलाइन के तहत ये देख सकें कि कैसे कैसे उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून बना और क्या क्या उसका असर रहा, उसमें क्या खामियां रहीं। और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर हम देखें तो उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा करने के लिए अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर क्या कुछ अभी तक किया गया है और किस देश में उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावी है, और इसके बाद जो अभी आज का कानून है उसको हम किस तरह से भविष्य के लिए असरदार मान सकते हैं। पहले आप एक रिपोर्ट देखिए, उसके बाद मैं अपने उस वरिष्ठ पैनल को आपके सामने रखूंगी जो इस पूरे मसले पर आपको वो जानकारी देंगे जो आप कहीं से भी नहीं पा सकेंगे, और उनको जरूर सुनिए ताकि आप अपने अधिकारों के प्रति सजग हो सकें। देखिए रिपोर्ट।
बाजार में खरीदारी के दौरान अक्सर हम ठगे जाते हैं। इसी के मद्देनजर उपभोक्ता के हक और हित की रक्षा के लिए कानून को मजबूत किया गया। 2019 में 3 दशक पुराने उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 1986 को बदल दिया गया है। इसकी जगह उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 2019 ने ली है। उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम 2019 उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा करता है। अधिनियम में उपभोक्ता शिकायतों को तेजी से हल करने के तरीके और साधन है। नए कानून में उपभोक्ता के हित में कई कदम उठाए गए हैं। पुराने नियमों की खामियां दूर की गई हैं। नए कानून की कुछ खूबियों में सेंट्रल रेगुलेटर का गठन, भ्रामक विज्ञापनों पर भारी पेनाल्टी और ई कॉमर्स फर्मों के लिए सख्त दिशा निर्देश शामिल हैं। एक नजर डालते हैं अधिनियम के मुख्य प्रावधानों पर। उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम 2019। अधिनियम उपभोक्ताओं को 6 अधिकार प्रदान करता है। केंद्रीय उपभोक्ता संरक्षण प्राधिकरण CCPA की स्थापना के प्रावधान, भ्रामक विज्ञापनों पर प्रतिबंध और जुर्माना, उपभोक्ता विवाद निवारण आयोग का गठन, उपभोक्ता अदालतें का क्षेत्राधिकार बढ़ाया गया, उपभोक्ता कहीं भी शिकायत दर्ज कर सकता है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में खामियों पर हर्जाना देने का प्रावधान, नकली सामान नहीं बेचने की ई कॉमर्स फर्मों की जिम्मेदारी। जाहिर है कि उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम 2019 के प्रावधान बाजार में गैर कानूनी कार्रवाई पर अंकुश लगाते हैं और उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा करते हैं। ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट।
और इस पूरे मसले पर हमारे साथ बेहद खास गेस्ट जुड़ रहे हैं। हमारे साथ हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट जुड़ रहे हैं जस्टिस स्वतंत्र कुमार, पूर्व जज सुप्रीम कोर्ट के। हमारे साथ प्रदीप राय जी जुड़ रहे हैं, वरिष्ठ अधिवक्ता सुप्रीम कोर्ट। हमारे साथ डॉक्टर प्रेम लता जुड़ रही हैं जो कि पूर्व सदस्य हैं कंज्यूमर फोरम की। और हमारे साथ काजल चंद्रा हैं, अधिवक्ता वरिष्ठ सदस्य हैं DCCBA की। और डॉक्टर दीपक जिंदल, अधिवक्ता पंजाब हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट के राधा, अधिवक्ता NCDRC की, राष्ट्रीय उपभोक्ता विवाद निवारण आयोग की। और इसके अलावा हमारे साथ हमारी सहयोगी, हमारी मॉडरेटर किरण भारद्वाज हैं जो खुद भी अधिवक्ता हैं और इस पूरे मसले को काफ़ी समझती हैं। उनके अपने सवाल होंगे जो कानूनी पक्षों के रूप में हम आपके सामने रखते रहेंगे। लेकिन मेरा सवाल मैं सीधे जस्टिस स्वतंत्र कुमार के पास चलूंगी। जस्टिस स्वतंत्र कुमार, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका इस कार्यक्रम में। माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दिस सर, उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून में जिस तरह के बुनियादी बदलाव किए गए हैं, जो चेंजेस किए गए हैं इस कानून में, ऐसे में ये एक बड़ा सवाल है, दिस इज ए बिग क्वेश्चन कि 2019 का जो ये कानून है वो कैसे आम कंज्यूमर्स के लिए ज़्यादा अच्छा है, ये ज़्यादा उनके लिए ज़्यादा उनको ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटी देता है। क्या ऐसे प्रावधान हैं जिससे उपभोक्ता बाजार में उसका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन नहीं होगा, उसके हितों का का कोई हनन नहीं होगा, उसे कैसे न्याय मिलेगा सर?
Social welfare legislation. It has another very important facet to it, that is the class legislation. When we talk of a class legislation, that means the legislation is not meant for in generic. It's meant for a specific class. But at the same time, its impacts are social welfare in their scope. Now, if you see certain fundamental rights, or fundamental not in the constitutional law sense, but in the legal sense, there are certain fundamental rights available to a consumer, which are like right to safety, right to be informed, right to choice, right to be heard, right to seek redressal, and most importantly, right to have been fairly treated as a consumer with all the protections. Now, if you see the scheme of the Act is expanding, if we have a comparative look, though the 2019 Act is still to come into force for implementation purposes, but if you have a comparative study between the two, it is one way very apparent that the legislature is intending not only to expand the definition, but even the scope of this Act. And its basics are sought to be made very enlarged to cause benefits to a common consumer. Now see the classification that is being made to seek, and ultimately it will answer the fundamental question that you asked for, is whether we need a Consumer Protection Act in our country. Now, straight away coming to your question first, is that you certainly need the Consumer Protection Act in our country. See, we are a developing country. Our social fabric is very wide. Now, what is happening today is very strange that, the quantum, the sales in India can alter the economics of industry all over the globe. It is that kind of a capacity we have. The purchasing capacity in India is fabulous. Now that fabulous capacity of the purchaser or the consumer should be able to get fair protection in law and in fact. So the legislature would provide it by virtue of this act a fair protection to the consumer in relation to its rights, but at the same time, we need to ensure its implementation. I think we should have more and more, we should have the extension of the consumer forum redressal. It should go to a lower level. At the district level, it is there, it must expand further. It should not be restricted. I think they should go to talukas. If you go to talukas in our country, then the common man will be able to get benefit. So it's not only that you should have the benefit of this act, but its expansion should be done to the grassroots level, and therefore alone you would be able to give benefit what the legislature intends ultimately. And this act, as you know, whether now because of the two judgments of the Supreme Court in different cases, it also said that, there's a comparative benefit being given by exercise of a concurrent jurisdiction and not preventing or causing injunction or a restraint in proceeding before the consumer forum, whether you go to NCLT or you have an arbitration, both the proceedings can go on. That's what the Supreme Court held in this MGF Land Limited case, as well as in the other case, when it was Davis case, when the Pioneer Urban Land case. Now, if these cases, if you have a very specific look, you will come to know that the intent of the legislature to give Consumer Act a precedence, or if not a precedence over other special laws, but ensure that its proceedings are not hampered, is clear in various judgments, including the judgments of Delhi High Court. So, to be precise, I think this consumer protection law is the need of the hour, and it must, by all means, the study had shown, the judgments have shown that we have to act and enact both. That is, the legislature should even keep a very clear eye on what are the results coming out of the implementation of these provisions, what are the judgments of the court, what are the consumer benefits. A ground data study should be taken into consideration, and even if further extension is required, it must be done. And in my opinion, it's a law must. That's all I'll have to say for the time being. If you have any other questions, please.
We go ahead further with our program over here. I will ask Mr. Pradeep Rai, Senior Advocate, is also here. I will ask, sir, please let me know why is consumer redressal system necessary in India?
You see, anywhere where the consumers are interests are involved, because that is the majority, obviously there some mechanism should be there to protect their interests. And this Consumer Act's first time it started in the US. That was the concept originally. It was dealt by the Maharajas and all, and thereafter during the Mughal period. But original concept of this modern Consumer Acts initiated by the United States of America. When they started, I think in 1906 or 8, when it was initiated, thereafter India also adopted the same act in 1986. That Consumer Act now have been replaced by 2019 Act. And because of that act, we have included so many things, like they have included electronic, this e-commerce sector also. They have included mediation. They have also increased the limit of different courts. So what I feel that first of all, they did it as your discussion. They finished this, they enacted this after the assent of the President of India in August 19. We are already about to finish this June, and we are in the July. So for 1 year, we are just waiting for this new act to come into the force. That is also, I feel that this is too much. We should actually be in the focus, and the act should be implemented as soon as possible. Not only this, what I feel that there are several other sectors where consumer protection rights and consumer rights should be more attention is required in those areas. Like what I have seen, there is a case of Booking.com. There is another case of tuition in the UK, United States Supreme Court. UK Booking.com was decided day before yesterday. I also seen that this tuition case is going on, where the parents are filing cases against tutors, that tutors are doing some discrimination, they are not teaching properly the students and all. So all kind of cases can fall in the ambit of consumer cases. Similarly, even e-commerce is allowed. You can file case in regard to e-commerce, but you have to feel that when you file a case of e-commerce, if they do not have headquarters in India, they have entire system in any other third country, and they fall under the laws of that country, how will you deal with that? This kind of law in the era of e-commerce should be a kind of combination, a global acceptance, a global resolution is required. Only by that you can actually go into details of solving these problems. Unless you have that kind of system, I feel that a particular, it can't limit within the bounds of your own country, because now you purchase something from the Amazon side, something you purchase from some other side, something you directly purchase from that particular website which do not have any office in India. So all kind of things has to be dealt with. The quality control, etc. Everything is there. You can catch hold of the brand ambassador. You can catch hold of the company. But at the same time, you have to be careful while implementing the interests of consumers.
Sir, thank
This
you so
new
much.
act adds this consumer
I
and
fully
everything.
agree with you, sir. Whatever you are saying, we'll get back to you, sir. Now there is another distinguished speaker over here, Madam Kajal Chandra. Ma'am, I just want to know who are the consumers over here, and what are the rights and liabilities of the consumers.
Is a person who buys any goods for consideration and hires the person who are included in the consumer services include the banking, insurance, transport, processing, your building companies, entertainment, and purposes for any other information. People are not aware that the Protection Act has been enacted for their disputes to be handled by the forums, and the civil courts were too burdened. So the enactment, there has been now amendment to the Consumer Protection Act from 1986 to 2019, including the online purchases which we have been doing it, and these purchases. Hello.
Please
So
continue.
the rights of the government of India has said that 6 types of rights a consumer has, like right to safety. He should be protected against the goods and services which is injurious to health, and the such as suppose that the person is buying a gas cylinder, he should be aware that the gas cylinder he is buying today has to be stopped or there is a regular leakage, and the manufacturer or the seller has to guide him. He once the purchasing is really taken control of this. The consumer is also the right to be informed about the irregularities, the quantity, the quality, the purity, the standard or grade, date of manufacture, the price of goods he intends to buy. So all this information he has to have it with him. And also the manufacturer and the dealer tell him whether suppose like he buys this gas cylinder. So when he's buying it, the seller has to inform him that suppose he's given him the instructions how to choose this goods. Then the right to choose the goods needed from he has a variety. The seller has to show him the variety of the goods, like TVs. TV can be of LG, Samsung, Dearborn. He has to show it. He cannot say that okay, you have to buy this product only. So he has to choose it, and the seller cannot recognize the person by that product. Then there's a right. A consumer has a right to be have a complaint, and his complaint has to be heard by the manufacturers, dealers, and suppliers. So the government bodies of course has to inform the people in public in at large that they have a redressal forum.
Want to know this also, whether changes in RERA in house buying will be benefited.
See, in RERA, which is coming to now, people used to go to the district forum or the state commission or to the national commission for place the builders. So the consumer has to be a person who has consumes or who purchases the property or anything that is non-personal use, not for the commercial purposes. So in RERA, the consumer can go either to district forum or national commission or RERA, but he can pursue the proceeding only at one place. And in RERA, it's necessary that you have to be a personal consumer. You can be a commercial. Also. But in a consumer forum, it's only meant for the consumer who has who has purchased the property for own personal purposes, not for the commercial purpose. grievance due to the practices. He can challenge that. Then the consumer also has to have the consumer protection education. The government has to display on different places that if somebody has been accused of something or has been cheated or there is unfair trade practices, then he should go to these forums. And now, once the amendment of 1987 Act from the 2019 Act, the food which is, because people are now are also ordering online food through Swiggy or so, that food is also been added to the definition, and the telecommunication have also been added in this.
These all are added in the new Act 2019.
And it's also the responsibility of a consumer. It is not that every consumer can go to the court. It is also that when he has been to achieve need to understand his responsibilities, like to exercise the right to seek redressal of a complaint. A consumer must take all precautions to choose the right food at the right place and must learn how to use products to prevent injury or loss. It's not. He should also be aware of services available in the market in order to purchase fully and make an educated choice. He has to make. He should also purchase only standardized goods. He should not should have the mark, ISI mark on electric, on agricultural products, and a jewelry and a jewelry to have a hallmark. He has to see that, and he should also risk which is the products and services. He should not
Basically 6 consumer rights are there in 2019 Act as such, and the responsibilities of the consumers are also there.
all the before purchasing, the consumer should do the market survey. He should look at for read the labels carefully. The product has to be the manufacturing date, expiry date, all that has to be. He should also make sure that he gets a deal and should be honest in his dealings. He should purchase only the legal goods, not and discourage unscrupulous practices like black marketing and so on. And even ask for a cash note. Even when he's payment, he should ask for a cash payment. He should not say going to the liability of not paying or paying the tax and all. Be good for him. And then he should complain with the consumer forum, the top forum. He should not go directly to manufacturer. So they can also collectively form an organization to deal with all these aspects.
Now we'll go to Madam Radha over here. Radha ji, can you explain the consumer redressal system in India and the procedure of filing complaints in the consumer forums or commission? Start from the lower to the high.
There is a three-tier system. That's a three-tier system, that is district forum, state commission and national commission. It has got its own pecuniary jurisdiction as well as territorial jurisdiction. District forum has the jurisdiction up to 20 lakhs, and above 20 to 1 crore is state commission, and above 1 crore is national commission. They are having jurisdiction. And
I think they have amended in the new act.
They have amended, yes, they have amended in the new act that pecuniary jurisdiction has been enhanced to 1 crore in the district forum, above 1 to 10 crores in the state commission, and above 10 crores in the national commission. So this is the difference. This is the amendment brought in by 2019 amendment. Now, the person can file a complaint, any person who is aggrieved, who is being exploited by the manufacturers or by the agencies, institutions. So he can file a complaint before the district forum in case his claim is below 20 lakhs. And after that,
This you are talking about the present scenario.
Scenario.
Haan.
Yes, yes.
1986.
1986. There were 3 amendments. So one was 1993, then second was 2003, which we are following right. Still, the court is following the 1986 Act only. Now, this is once we file the complaint, the court will issue notice to the opposite party. The opposite party has to file his reply within 30 days or a grant of 15 days, grant of 15 days. In case, recently the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court has affirmed that as per the Act, as per the section 13 of the Act, the reply has to be filed within 30 days with a delay of,
So 30 days time is given.
And there is a limitation too, that you have to file according to section 24A, there is a limitation. You have to file your complaint within 2 years from the date of cause of action. So after that, you can file a common complaint also if you have a common interest or common grievance against a builder or any financial companies. You can file under section 12(1)(c). This was held by the larger bench in of the Consumer National Commission in Amresh Shukla versus in Amresh Shukla's case. So now coming to the section 13, after filing the complaint, if he says that there is some defects, the court has every right, commission has every right to send it to the laboratories for proper analysis of the seeds, and it can be
So you
decided on basing on
after the district forum we have got an appeal
to the
State
Commission.
Commission.
Within 30 days we have to file the
then to the National Commission
90 days.
90 days, then we can go to
Supreme Court by
Honorable
way of
Supreme Court
SLP.
by way of SLP, and we can go directly also.
Directly, yes. Directly, no. Directly, because
Civil
you can
appeal.
file an appeal.
Appeal.
That is, if you have filed any complaint before the National Commission,
Directly.
then
In
you
original.
you have to file within 30 days appeal.
So
to
in
the
original,
Supreme
if we
Court.
file in National Commission, then we
Then
can
you
go,
can go to
as a civil appeal.
Civil appeal.
So this is a difference, filing SLP or a civil appeal in
Appeal,
Supreme
yes,
Court.
yes.
So apart from that, how many paper books we have to give and the court fees over there? Is it easy for ordinary layman to go and file it?
Yes, yes, because he has to file 2 plus 1 copies. So before this National Commission and before the Supreme Court as per it. So
Now, as per new Act also of 2019, now the more facilities are given, wider power has been given to the Act also. In the purview, they have taken that video conferencing also, and plus online filing also. Is it it has started or it has not started?
no, not yet started. It has not yet started. It has not been notified. The Act of 2019. So still the 1986 Act is persistent.
And there is another change also as per jurisdiction, that a person can file wherever he is staying. Any
Yes.
Can you explain on that? What where the person is staying and he can file
if he
anywhere
is staying in some remote place, he can file from there.
instead of coming to
Instead
any
coming
other
to
place.
instead of his personal presence.
That's nice. Thank you for your immense knowledge over here in this field.
डॉक्टर दीपक जिंदल भी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, अधिवक्ता हैं पंजाब हरियाणा कोर्ट में। दीपक जी, मेरे लिए एक अहम सवाल ये है कि उपभोक्ता के जो अपने हितों की रक्षा की बात होती है, जागरूक जो है उपभोक्ता, वो बाजार में पारदर्शिता और जवाबदेही स्थापित करने में मदद कर सकता है, लेकिन वाकई ये कितना सही है? उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम 2019 कैसे उपभोक्ता को जागरूकता देता है, उसको ज़्यादा अवेयर करता है? हमने देखा है इतने सारे आंदोलन चले, इतने तरह के प्रचार सरकार की तरफ से किए गए, लेकिन उसके बाद भी एक कंज्यूमर के तौर पर हम अदालती चक्रों में नहीं पड़ना चाहते, हमें अपने अधिकारों के बारे में उसके बाद भी हमें जानकारी नहीं होती है। ऐसे में आपको क्या लगता है कि नया जो अधिनियम है वो कितना जागरूक बनाता है?
Madam, consumer awareness is a very crucial aspect. First, I want to say that consumer exploitation is very rampant these days. Consumers get exploited in many ways through the more influencing and well-informed resources. Broadly speaking, consumer awareness means creating awareness of a consumer towards his rights and duties. It is an act of making sure that the buyer or consumer is aware of the information about products, goods, services, and his consumer rights, and making him aware of different aspects of consumption activity. In today's world, I want to say that consumer is a king, and you have to protect the king. Consumer awareness involves various aspects. It involves knowing about maximum retail price. It is about knowing where is fair price shop. It includes awareness about price, quality, and expiry date of the product. It is about knowing the rights and duties as a consumer. It is knowing about certified products like ISI, AgMark, etc.
Now I will ask another question from Senior Advocate Pardeep Rai ji. Sir, just let me know, as per new Act 2019, mediation has been included in this. What do you think that how much mediation center the consumers will be successful, the mediation center will be successful in the Consumer Protection Act?
You see, Kiranji, what I personally feel that sometimes mediation actually helps. Though people say that mediation is not a successful medium, and they also give a narration that the first mediator was Lord Krishna, who wanted to mediate between Kauravas and Pandavas both, and that mediation failed, and because of that Mahabharata happened. So I don't trust that line, but I feel that the moment you ask both the parties to sit and mediate, and some mediator is there who is giving them freely to talk or something, and then they realize sometimes that where actually just by spending 5,000 to 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh, 3 lakh, small disputes, unnecessary, it will keep on dragging and go up to the level of state forum and then finally national forum. Sometimes people make it a issue of prestige. Like a case of 10 rupees may also come up to the Supreme Court. It happens in many countries. What I suggest that mediation is a good medium, first of all, and India should also practice it widely, so that many kind of disputes can be brought before mediation and then it can be settled. I personally feel not 100%, but at least 30% matters will be finalized, settled in the mediation itself. So it is a good idea what the law framers have decided, and they are actually, this kind of procedure should have been earlier also, because mediation is also not a new concept. And as I said that first mediation may have failed, but mediation centers are there, and in place of mediation centers there should be consumer redressal mediation centers. That may be in the consumer court itself, where both the lawyers are first given an opportunity that first of all you make both the parties sit and they should decide after discussion. So once both the lawyers sit together with the intention to mediate, and then the success rate may be taken into their professional account, I feel that it will be a successful medium. So it's a good idea to come with this kind of legislation.
Sir, it will reduce the workload also, I think.
It will reduce, but at the same time it will be a convenience for the people. This entire process is actually meant for the convenience of public in general, not in the convenience of lawyers. So I personally feel that once you adopt such measures, and these measures will be actually helpful for the society, for the consumers, and you see, every person, the poorest person who is a consumer, is affected most when their rights are affected, when they fail to enjoy their products and whatever they have purchased, then their rights are more painful. And I personally feel that small consumers' protections are more important under any kind of act in place of this top consumers. So suppose we buy a Mercedes car and there is some deficiency, obviously Mercedes will change it. But the moment a person buys a tractor or buys a plow, and there is some difficulty, then it's very painful, because the farmer will lose their entire farming season and all. So mediation will be very helpful, and you put the person, the other side, into situation where if the first party was there, then also the suggestion and the mediation success guarantee of mediation is more. So I feel this is a good idea. It's a good kind of legislation. And Kiranji, you don't worry. You are a successful mediator. You will not lose. You will not lose your work. I think you will grab the works from lawyers and put into your pocket. And this will be a good idea if we actually implement this kind of practice. But we are still waiting. And I feel and I pray that such legislation, which has been already brought into force, but not actually on the ground. The moment it comes on the ground, I feel that there will be a good game.
So, sir, with your immense suggestions and knowledge, the consumers will be really benefited. So, thank you so much, sir.
किरण जी, मैं यहाँ पे एक बड़ा सवाल मैं लेके जाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर प्रेमलता के पास। आपसे मेरा एक सवाल ये होगा कि आज के दौर में हम लोग इतने यूज्ड टू हो गए हैं डिजिटल बाजार का कि हम बिल्कुल अब शायद बाजार तक जाते भी नहीं हैं, हम घर बैठे अपने फ़ोन से या अपने लैपटॉप से या अपने आईपैड से हम ऑर्डर कर देते हैं। अब मुझे ये जानना है आपसे कि अब जबकि ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग का ज़माना है, वेबसाइट्स पर सामान खरीदे जा रहे हैं, कोविड से जो हालात अभी उभरे उसके बाद तो ऐसा लगा कि अब बाज़ार कोई जाएगा ही नहीं और अब घर में जो उपभोक्ता हैं वो कैद हो गए हैं और वो उनका सहारा केवल ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग बना हुआ है। ऐसे में ये समझना ज़रूरी है कि डिजिटल शॉपिंग में जो परेशानियां हैं, जो कठिनाइयां हैं उपभोक्ताओं के मद्देनज़र, उत्पादक और डीलर को भी इसमें कई तरह की समस्याओं का सामना करना पड़ता है, उसको कैसे दूर किया जाएगा, कैसे दोनों के ही अधिकार की सुरक्षा हो सकती है, कैसे ऐसा नहीं हो कि एक दूसरे पे हावी हो जाए, किसी का शोषण ना हो, उसके लिए क्या प्रावधान आप देख रही हैं इस नए कानून में?
There was a problem in these purchase issues. Online purchase issues were increasing and orders used to cancel, cost escalation, after sales services were not given, and web also disappeared suddenly after making the order, and wrong items received. These are all the problems, and nobody was taking responsibility of that because there was no product liability shouldered by anyone. Now, in this present act, it has been specifically made that intermediaries, whosoever, Amazon, Flipkart or whosoever is there, they will be responsible to receive the notices, they will be responsible to deliver the notices, and they will be also equally responsible to share the responsibility, whether it is an intermediary, trader, manufacturer, or seller, or assembler, whosoever assembles, or whosoever courier, sends through courier, the thing. All are responsible. This is product liability clause specially made in this act, which is very, very important. More important thing is, apart from these provisional these procedural changes, there is a very big change in the whole scenario, and that is creating of Central Consumer Protection Authority, then Monitoring Cell, and Mediation Center. What Central Consumer Protection Authority has to do? All unfair trade practices are monitored by this Central Consumer Protection Authority. So far, there is no regulatory authority. There is no regulatory authority who can look after the business of the big business houses, how they are cheating the consumers. This is the authority now on suo motu basis. They will take care of all this unfair trade practices, misleading advertisements, and all that, whatever is happening in the market. And they will penalize them. They have got the penalizing part and fining part and so many other things also. They can withdraw them. They can be forced to withdraw the goods if they are not meeting to the expectations of the market or the consumers. This is one thing. And secondly, mediation center is very much needed because all the courts in the country are having court annexed mediation center. Now consumer courts will also have mediation centers, and if there is a possibility that is feel that there can be a mediation and matter can be settled through mediation, they can be referred to mediation center. And third and very important is monitoring committee. So far, consumer has no place where they can complain. They can complain against the court.
डॉक्टर प्रेमलता, आपने जो हम ग्राहकों की, मैं एक ग्राहक के तौर पर ही बात करूंगी आपसे, जो हम ग्राहकों की प्रॉब्लम है, जो हमारे समस्या अब तक रही है, उसे बहुत गहराई से, बहुत नज़दीकी से देखा और समझा है, क्योंकि आप पूर्व सदस्य रही हैं कंज्यूमर फोरम की। ऐसे में मैं आपसे जरूर जानना चाहूंगी कि जिस तरह से उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 1986 में आया और वहां से 2019 तक इसमें लगातार बदलाव होते रहे, आखिर 2019 के इस उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून से जो हेल्थ केयर शब्द को हटा लिया गया है, इसका मतलब है कि स्वास्थ्य संबंधी मसले या मेडिकल केस को उपभोक्ता एक्ट में जगह नहीं दी जाएगी, इसे एक सर्विस के रूप में माना जाएगा। इस बदलाव से आपको क्या लगता है कि उपभोक्ता किस तरह से प्रभावित हुआ है? गौरतलब है कि तमाम ऐसे मामले भी हमारे सामने हैं जब अस्पतालों में जो निजी अस्पताल हैं वहां पर जो एक पेशेंट जाता है उसके साथ बहुत तरह की गड़बड़ियां हुई हैं। ऐसे भी उदाहरण हमारे सामने हैं कि एक पेशेंट को बिना किसी मतलब के उसको वेंटिलेटर पर डाल दिया गया। इस तरह की तमाम मिस हैपनिंग्स रही हैं और ऐसे में इस तरह से बिल्कुल एक क्षेत्र को हटा देना, ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि अब ये रिस्की जोन हो जाएगा?
Very good question. And this question I was expecting also. The first question I will reply. There is no healthcare word initially when this act was enacted in 1986, because the first case came up only in 1995, where the Shanta versus Indian Medical Association case came up, and first time medical negligence was brought under the purview of this act. There was no word. There are very few words in 1986 act. Only you can say banking, financing, or housing, or boarding and lodging, but not limited to these words. All other services were also included whenever situation arises and some services come in the picture. So healthcare word was not there. But later on, there were many issues these medical practitioners had raised in Dr. J.J. Merchant's case, that we should be exempted from the purview of Consumer Protection Act because consumer court judges are not aware of medical science and all that. That was sorted out by Supreme Court. That it will be impossible if one judge can understand only one field and one thing one can understand. That means in the whole of the country, court cannot be run. As in civil courts, they can ask for expert opinion. Similarly, in consumer courts also, you can ask for expert opinion. No, this will not do. So later on, then in 2018, it was put the healthcare word deliberately to certain that these persons should die now. It should not be a person anymore. But somehow under pressure, this word was removed. And people were panicky, consumers are panicky that whether they are now, the medical negligence cases will come or not. Please understand, ma'am.
Sir, in the new act, Central Consumer Protection Authority and Monitoring Cell are formed, and lot of powers are given to them, to the authority as well. So whether the authority will work parallel to the consumer forum or a commission, or they will be supervising only, or some other role is there?
Your question is actually very important. So these authorities, I personally feel that when this minister is the chairman of this national authority, the district magistrate is chairman of state authority, and similarly the same process. And it has to, the meetings has to be called once in a year of national authority with the convenience of the chairman, means the minister. Similarly, the district magistrate has to sit at least twice in a year. I think this is too less, and they should have actually have a procedure where they should have left this as per the wishes of the minister. Minimum meetings you can hold, but the maximum is not there. You can say that as many numbers they want to hear these matters, and normally they are in touch on telephones. When they talk, they are most in conferences. When the secretaries are there, they are also in touch. But in my opinion, if you have brought such legislation where council provision is there and authority provision is there, so that authority, obviously in advisory role, they can't function their judicial, discharge their judicial duties. But their discussions should be more, that will ensure and that will give a path to decide how speedy the matters can be decided. And then this limitation period is there, that already in 30 days you have to file. Sometimes the condonation of delay is there. Sometimes the maximum period decided to decide a dispute, that is also extended.
जी बिल्कुल, लेकिन मैं एक सवाल और रखना चाहूँगी, और वो ये है कि उपभोक्ता संरक्षण अधिनियम 2019 के उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की रक्षा के लिए जो कानून है, वो आज के तारीख में देखा जाए तो देश भर में उपभोक्ता अदालतों में बड़ी संख्या में फिर भी लंबित है, काफ़ी सारी संख्या में जो मामले हैं वो लंबित हैं। तमाम कानून होने के बावजूद उपभोक्ता शिकायतों को हल करने के लिए हालांकि ये अधिनियम बहुत ज़रूरी है, लेकिन ज़मीनी तौर पर उपभोक्ता संरक्षण कानून 2019 से उपभोक्ताओं को किस तरह का वाकई फ़ायदा हो सकता है? क्योंकि हम पहले अभी तक एक उपभोक्ताओं के अंदर भी एक डर रहता है कि भाई मैंने 2000 रुपये की चीज़ खरीदी, कानूनी प्रक्रिया इतनी लंबी है कि वो जब तक मुझे फैसला मिलेगा तब तक मेरे पैसे का भी वैल्यू जा चुका होगा और शायद उससे कहीं ज़्यादा मैं खर्च कर चुका होऊंगा, इसलिए भी लोग बचते हैं। कंपनियों के जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन होते हैं वो इतने पुख्ता होते हैं, इतने तगड़े होते हैं कि वो कोई ना कोई एक रास्ता वो अपने लिए रखते हैं। ऐसे में क्या आपको लगता है कि चाहे वो डिजिटल मार्केट की बात करें हम या एक्चुअल मार्केट की बात करें, उपभोक्ता कैसे अपने आप को सुरक्षित महसूस करेगा? आपको लगता है कि इस नए परिवर्तन के बाद उपभोक्ता अब ज्यादा अपने आप को सुरक्षित महसूस करेगा?
Yes, they will be benefited. Now you can also, because with the coming of this product liability, not only the consumer can file it against because see, when the changes have been brought up by the economic liberalization and globalization of markets and digitization of products and services, so the government and the legislator has enacted these provisions in the 2019 Act. So any action also by a complainant for any harm being caused by a defective product or manufactured by a product manufacturer or serviced by a product service provider or sold by a product seller, so he can do it. Like I can give you an example of a pressure cooker. If it explodes, so due to a manufacturing defect and harms the consumer, the manufacturer is liable to compensate the consumer for the injury.
जी बिल्कुल, और आप लोगों की तमाम बातों को सुनने के बाद हमारे दर्शक ये ज़रूर समझ गए हैं कि जो भी एक उपभोक्ता है वो किसी भी प्रकार के शोषण का यदि वो शिकार हुआ है तो अपने अधिकारों की लड़ाई लड़कर वो न्याय पा सकता है। उपभोक्ता बाजारों में भारी बदलाव आया है, बढ़ते औद्योगिकरण ने देश में उत्पादन को बढ़ाया है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं। और अब तो हम ग्लोबल बाजार की बात करते हैं, ग्लोबल मार्केट की बात करते हैं, और ऐसे में जो हमारे अधिकार हैं एक तरह से देखा जाए तो विश्व स्तर के हो चुके हैं। बाजार में तरह तरह के जो सामान उपलब्ध हैं, सुपर बाजार के शेल्फ जो हैं वो लुभावने प्रोडक्ट से भरे पड़े रहते हैं। ग्राहकों को रिझाने में कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ी जा रही है, विज्ञापन का दौर है, खूब जमकर विज्ञापन किया जा रहा है। लेकिन वहीं जिस तरह के हालात अब बदले हैं, उपभोक्ता विभिन्न प्रकार के अनुचित नियम और शर्तों के कारण अभी भी भ्रम की स्थिति में रहते हैं और वो उन्हें समझ नहीं पाते कि किस तरह से आगे बढ़ें। ऐसे में अब ये समझना होगा कि जो आज बाजारीकरण के बावजूद उपभोक्ता अधिनियम की प्रासंगिकता ज़्यादा हो गई है, कम नहीं हो रही है। कंपनियों के अनुचित व्यापार पद्धतियों या उपभोक्ताओं के शोषण से निपटने के लिए जो कानून बने हैं उनको ज़मीनी स्तर पर लेकिन सही अंजाम देने की कोशिश की ज़रूरत है। ग्राहकों की जागरूकता बढ़ाने के लिए सही जानकारी और उनके हितों की जानकारी उन तक पहुंचाना ही होगा। जो कंज्यूमर अदालतें हैं उनकी प्रक्रिया को ज़्यादा मजबूत करना होगा। समय पर वहाँ किस तरह से केस सुलझाए जाएं, इस पर ध्यान देना ज़रूरी है। और इस वजह से जो तत्पर न्याय से उपभोक्ताओं के हितों की सुरक्षा बहुत हद तक हो जाएगी, तभी शायद बाजारवाद उपभोक्ता पर हावी नहीं होगा और हमारा जो न्यायिक व्यवस्था है वो अपने उस वकार को, उस सम्मान को स्थापित कर पाएगी उपभोक्ताओं के नज़र में। जिस तरह से हम कह सकते हैं कि जिस तरह से पूरा विश्व एक बाज़ार बन रहा है, चाहे वो ऑनलाइन की हम बात करें या ऑफलाइन की बात करें, एक्चुअल बाज़ार की बात करें या वर्चुअल बाज़ार की बात करें, अब ये ज़रूरी है कि जब आप कोई भी सामान खरीद रहे हैं तो उसके टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन पढ़ें, अपने अधिकारों के बारे में जानें, जैसे हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स ने बताया है। और अब सरकार के लिए भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है कि जितना ज़्यादा उसके लिए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनियां, इंडस्ट्री ज़रूरी है, उतनी ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरत उसे उपभोक्ताओं की है। तो उपभोक्ताओं का संरक्षण जितना ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सरकार कर पाएगी, उसकी अर्थव्यवस्था के लिए वो चीज़ उतना ही अच्छी होगी। तो आज बस इतना ही। अगली बार हम फिर हाजिर होंगे एक ऐसे ही मसले के साथ जो हमारे और आपके लिए या हमारी न्यायिक व्यवस्था के लिए, न्यायिक प्रणाली के लिए बहुत मजबूती देने की जहाँ ज़रूरत पड़ेगी या फिर बहुत उचित होगा। तो आज हम इसी के साथ विराम लेते हैं। आप जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ। नमस्कार।